keeps trying to kick me off the live. I'm hoping if I hold this thing long enough, it'll finally start on my little thing here so I can see you guys talking to me. Let me put something in the chat. Normally, if I just say hello to you guys, it keeps me on. Oh, yeah. Okay, here comes the commercial, of course. Let's skip the commercial. Ooh, good. We got Sherry McCabe, Catherine Mefford, Audrey Barnes, Evelyn Warner is here, Jennifer B. Lila is here. Ooh, we got a good crew here this morning. Sorry about that. I was running late anyway, but you know Murphy's Law, as soon as you need something to go fast, it doesn't. So how's everybody doing? How's everybody enjoying their spring? We are finally having warm weather. Hey, Connie, you know, that was such a beautiful letter you sent me this morning, Connie. I want to thank you for sending that to me. You guys inspire me. You really do. I mean, who knew this is probably what I should have been doing all the time, that the lives are really healthy for me. You got me working with color again. You guys do get to see firsthand my little blenders or my experiments, simply similar to what you guys would be doing. Hi there, Tig Lily. Now that is a new name. Hello there. Jasmine, are you going to join us? She's sneaking over here. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. She's normally on the back of my chair when we get started. Now I'm a little bit behind as far as having your epoxy mixed for you. I am going to have to do this. You got a great paint table? Who got a really great paint table? I love that for you. Sorry, I'm still getting gloves on. Lots of gloves. Now, I do make an extra point of being extra protected. You guys see me wear these long sleeves even when I'm playing with acrylic because I don't, everything that gets on your skin goes into your bloodstream. Now, we can't avoid everything in the environment from getting on our skin, but I am extra careful. And then on epoxy day, it's even worse. I have a tendency to get it everywhere all over me. So I'll wear long sleeves over the top of this, a pair of gloves, put this little protector thing on, and another pair of gloves on top. I know I'm a bit of a neatnik. So there is this lady, pardon me 1 minute while I get my epoxy, because I'm literally gonna have to mix this in front of you guys. Somebody missed something? Somebody said they missed something. What did you miss? Oh, well, John, you can always watch the replays. And actually, I need to, sorry, I'm not looking at the camera because I'm getting ready to pour this into the cups. But yeah, yesterday I tried to do a Facebook Live for, I mixed the epoxy up about 45 minutes for that, and then tried to pull off my regular live, and as luck would have it, the very last bit of the resin that I was trying to do on my big piece seized up. Yes, we had problems with it seizing up. Putting that in. What am I putting in? Okay, now the hardener has to go in. Took me a while to set this up. Now, while I'm doing this, I just want to talk briefly. Have you ever heard of an artist by the name of Cathy Lane? Fairy Art Mother and I were following her heavily about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And, you know, at the time, 4 to 5 years ago, finding somebody playing with epoxy, you know, you still can't find that many artists playing with epoxy on YouTube yet. I know quite a few YouTubers that would love to switch to epoxy, but they're a little bit afraid that their audience Now I have to check my timer here. Audrey, you're right on time. 12:08, so at 12:11, this will be done mixing. So, but at the time, she was one of the few people working with epoxy. And she likes to work on big 10 by 14 tiles. Her name is Cathy Lane with a C, A-T-H-Y. I was talking to Michelle DePorto this morning. I figured I'd just do a couple more little tile tests today. I mean, I've skipped doing epoxy for almost a week and a half. And John, for you, this entire week has been about epoxy and the new purely pigment colors. I've kind of focused on epoxy just to give it its time and its due in my practice. And the last couple days, for me, you guys have seen me kind of struggle with the negative space. I think we all are concerned about negative space no matter what kind of art we're doing. But mentally in the back of my head, I have this stuff that has a time thing attached to it, right? You can only have 45 minutes or maybe an hour and a half. If you're lucky, you can push that 45 minutes twice. Okay, so we're almost at 3 minutes on this, and then I got to mix one more cup. I apologize, but so anyway, what Cathy Lane would do, she worked on these tiles. Oh, I love Daniel Cooper. Is he not amazing? Yeah, Daniel Cooper, he's amazing. He works in small little areas. It's a great way to build up your confidence, right? Because it's all about building up our confidence and belief in ourselves. Okay, I'm gonna split this in half and mix the other cup. Give me 1 second. I find if I put the epoxy on the back table, I have a less chance of knocking it over. So what she would do is she did these warrior women like goddesses, but they didn't really look like women. It's more of a abstract. Yeah, Daniel Cooper's amazing. So now we're going to turn you on to a new artist named Cathy Lane. And she was doing these tiles, abstract tiles, calling them, giving them a name, Athena, Aphrodite, doing these goddesses, complete abstract. No worry about if it looks like the perfect flower or Dutch pour or ocean pour, right? None of that stuff was important. It was all about the abstract. And then what was even more interesting is the way she mounted these 10 by 14 tiles. This is a project for you, John, MDF board that was about an inch and a half wider than her 10 by 14 tile. And she laid texture paste around the edges, right? And then let that dry, but she had a perfect shape so the tile could be mounted in that area that didn't have the texture paste. These pieces look like they belong into a museum. And she mounted them on MDF board. And for gallery work, because John's doing some gallery stuff right now, it's a really gorgeous presentation, the tile kind of inset with the texture around it. Like I said, it looked like it belonged in a museum. Museum, right? So I was sharing her channel with Michelle DePorto today, talking about how she had done this, and then took her 2 months to do a piece called Barrier Reef. If you ever get a chance to go back and look at it, she's painting the fishes and she's creating textures for underground rocks and then sanding it down and doing a layer of resin and then another layer of resin. It was her homage 5 years ago to the Barrier Reef, because quite a few people, I can't say everybody, but many people are concerned about the environment. And so the Barrier Reef is something that the local Australian citizens were concerned about. And so she had done this whole homage to the Barrier Reef. Let me pour my cup off, be right back. I don't know why I see Jasmine, but she's sitting more on the edge watching me. She's been sitting in the back of my monitor over there just watching for some reason the last 2 episodes. So anyway, I am going to do an attempt. Now, yesterday's pieces, John, you missed these, and I know we've got some new faces in here that didn't see these. So I find that when I launched the resin art and I was practicing on tile, I'm repeating what I said yesterday, but I just want you guys to get this. I was less concerned about the composition. I was less concerned about negative space. I didn't care about negative space. It didn't matter to me. I was just moving the black and the gold and the white around in a tile and letting you see. So yesterday I did this on the, let's see if my camera can get some light on this. This is the one from yesterday I did on Facebook. And I'm trying to get it to where we got some good lighting on this thing. I love how that Lorez white is actually giving what looks like real lacing, and it's not just foam. And all I did was warm it up and then combed over it, swiped over it like a regular swipe. And so the Lorez white worked as a swipe color, like a cell activator over the tile. And then on our live here, I did the same color combination, different patterns. You can see that the lacing is going in different patterns, right? And then we did a sample with the River Rock Blue. Now, what's interesting is when you're playing with epoxy. Hi, Hope, good morning. How's your grandson, Arlo, honey? How's he doing? When we're playing with epoxy, I'm really careful with how much interference I use because it really dominates everything. And the River Rock Blue, I think, is much richer when I was using just the sparkle and the diamond, and I didn't use the interference violet in that. So, and then the final piece, John, it was all seizing up. You guys have seen that happen before. Well, guess what? This is what it turned out like, but what you don't know is there is something called a tack period in resin. That means that between hours 6 and 12, the resin will grab something. You've seen me show you after effect. I did it last night. So this was seizing up so much, the cell activator was all lumpy and white. It finally settled, but look what I did. I sat and rubbed interference blue where all the white was that didn't really take or lace, okay? And so when I go over with this with a tint, you're gonna see that blue underneath like I intended to do this. So this was my oopsie. Even the little dribbles of just clear resin, I hit with that interference blue. So it's gonna create an effect. Now, this is how you do this is the resin at hour 6, 7, 8, 9 has what's called a tack period. And what do I mean by that? I'm trying to turn the camera around so you can see my face. Fairy Art Mother's here. Hi, sweetheart. So the resin, it's basically solid enough to not be too sticky, right? You could almost peel it up on what it's on, but it's still very bendy and pliable. When it's in that state, hey Shannon, how you doing this morning? When it's in that state, you can rub any kind of mica on there and the resin grabs it and becomes part of the finish. So that's gonna be my way of saving that piece. I put interference blue and sparkle red everywhere. I could add some accents. So when I go over the top with that, with a tint, a clear color, that's gonna come through and you're gonna think I intentionally did the piece that way, okay? So Fairy Art Mother, what you missed is, today is an homage to Cathy Lane. That'll be a blast from the past from you. And I was showing Michelle DePorto her goddesses, and I've decided, what the heck? I'm gonna make an attempt at when she did those Aphrodite goddesses. There's even a point where she's actually taking, gosh, I hope I can find mine, silicone oil. Uh-oh. It may be buried. Give me 1 second, guys. The silicone oil is here. Here it is. She is using something called Resicrete, which is basically a very expensive silicone oil. And at the very end, she's putting drops of silicone in the head, and it made it bloom out, almost look like a daffodil that you would blow. Now I'm going to try to do the droplet effect with my famous droplets. Those of you that have seen me do this. Yes, yes, she did a beautiful job. So I'm going to try a drop of this on one little corner. It may or may not work. We may or may not use this. So, all right, let's get started. We're going to use some of the new colors from the new set. Some are going to be older colors. And we got a lot of color mixing to do. So let's get started. I have my 10 by 14 tile taped. This is not because I intend to keep the tape on there. I just want to make sure that the paint runs all the way up to the edges before I pull this tape off. Give it, let it set for about 2 hours, pull the tape off, and then the resin just kind of goes over the edges nice and smoothly. So in her pieces, she used a lot of earth tones, coppers, bronze, golds. I'm going to try to simulate that a little bit, but take a little creative license because I like color, so I don't necessarily need it to be all bronze, copper, and gold, right? And yes, this is fresh resin. It is not going to seize up on us. Okay, so on the bottom half, I'm going to do a black. So we'll be using some of the bone black from the Purely Pigment line. I don't need the white just yet, but there will be a white. I've already mixed up some golden maple and some of our solar gold in here because I'm trying to save some time and not spend too much time on color mixing, because I think our piece is going to take a little while to do this. So I'd rather spend more time. I also have a little bit of the solid gold leaf, classic gold liquid from, I think this is, who makes this? Plaid. I'm gonna put a tiny bit of that in my gold for special effects, okay? So there you have it. So let's get started. We're gonna do the red oxide. No surprise, I'm probably going to use the sparkle red that I've been using the last few days. I'm loving the effects that we're getting with this. Sorry about the camera. My hand is kind of hiding the drops. And anybody that is struggling with the drops, I struggle too. There's a trick to squeezing all the air out and then letting it come up in order to draw some up, and it still doesn't always work like you want to. But I've had such great luck with these the last few days, and suddenly I'm not. I think it's because I had a conversation with that woman the other day, and I told her I was having the same issue she was. I don't think the droplet is the perfect way to dispense this, but being that this is in glass, how else do we dispense this color, right? Truly. But this needs more color. This one's a little bit too transparent. That's why I was trying to put more in there. Let's see. Squeeze all the air out, open it up. Yeah, there we go. And of course I dropped the stick in. Now I've fun. This can actually happen. That did drop into the epoxy. But you did see I got about 4 or 5 extra drops. I'm going to wipe that off. Great. Now the ends come off. Guess we won't be using any more of that today until I get another dropper top on that. but I'm sure I got the color that I wanted in there. I wanted it. There we go. Really nice, rich red oxide color. Let's add some of our sparkle red to it. We've been having really great luck with the sparkle red in this rusted oxide. I'm kind of liking the effects that we're getting. This next color is my papaya. I'm actually going to use a coral instead of just a straight orange. Kind of break it up, make it more interesting. Again, push all the air out of the drop. The droppers work well, but I'm almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops. That went to 6 drops of my papaya. I think I'm going to add some interference now. Again, I think interference is a little bit strong in epoxy, so I use it sparingly because it gives such a strong coverage to everything we do. So let's see what this My Papaya looks like. Oh gosh, look at that. That's making me happy. That's gonna be pretty. Yeah, that My Papaya with Interference Violet is a beautiful combination. Yeah, I've actually put regular caps, the same caps that are on our 1 ounce Vivid Intense. I've put them on there just to shake them up. Still doesn't help with dispensing, but yeah, as long as you've got something strong that's going to... Andrea, you're perfect timing. You're just watching me do all my intro. I actually started right at 11:01 or something. So me personally, I'm a tad late myself. A little bit more of that sparkle red in this thing. All right, let's get the, okay, we're gonna do a mix here. This is Bit of Honey and Aztec Yellow. The Bit of Honey is a great color. I love it, but I think it needs a little bit more oomph to it. In this particular, 4, 5, that was 6 drops of Bit of Honey. Wow. See, now my droppers are working great. I've whipped them into shape, right? Okay, so there's the Bit of Honey by itself, is that beautiful yellow ochre. I just want like 1 drop of Aztec Yellow. A pipette would work, and then you can flick it. I know people that are looking at long-handled sampling spoons. Put 2 drops of Aztec Yellow in there. I'm just gonna brighten up the Bit of Honey just a tad, because after all, this is my piece that I'm doing, right? So I think in that one, I'm also gonna add a tad of Interference Gold, because I think it can handle it. And then some more of the Sparkle Red. I didn't finish mixing up the rest of the Sparkle Red in this. I don't know. I think yesterday I added a little bit of the Hugs and Kisses to this. I think I want that rusted oxide a little bit darker like I made it yesterday. I'm kind of getting locked into combinations that I like. Ooh, look at that. Tiny bit of the Aztec Yellow, 2 drops of Aztec Yellow. I think this was 4 or 5 drops of the Bit of Honey. And it has Sparkle Red and Interference Gold in it. Just a little bit of Interference Gold. Don't put too much in there. Let me see if I can't find that other red. Here we go. This is the Hugs and Kisses red. I just want my rusted oxide a little bit more red. And that, I know for a fact that the Hugs and Kisses has a little bit of the same red that's in your holly berry. So it'll deepen it for me. There we go. Just want it deep. And we got our nice peachy papaya color. That's gonna be gorgeous with this. All right, let's make up some black. It's the first time you guys seen me use bone black. Whoa, that was an interesting little flip opening that up. 1, 2, 3. There's about 6 drops in there. And I'm also going to make up a white. Mix up some of this. Now this is the actual aqueous white. This will be replacing the mixing white in set 2. It is going to be a bonus. I don't think this jar is completely full. I did this for the photo. This jar is completely full, but it's not nearly as pretty on camera, right? But we know the bottle is completely full of the white. And it's really thick. Mucho drops. That's got to be about 5 or 6 drops. I'm going to scrape some of this off here because it looks like my dropper's got a lot of stuff caked on it. Now, this is not necessarily to make it lace or do anything. I just want a white and a black. That's all this is for. So let's see if that's white enough. It'll do. I still want a little bit less transparency. See if I can get some. There we, oh yeah, a whole bunch went in that time around. Woof, that's way too much, but hey. For the camera, I'll do anything. And actually, I'm gonna need a lot of this white. I'm looking at the whole top part of that tile. And there is a section here. This whole top section here, about 1/4 of it is gonna be on a white background. So I think I need to think in advance and get plenty of this white mixed up, so I don't have to worry about making any when we finally get to that section. Let's get our black. Now, do I add something to the black? I use the mixing white. Yeah, but it's really, really transparent. And if you were here yesterday's broadcast, you heard the confession that was actually made with a fluorescent, transparent, glow-in-the-dark white. And so the mixing white in set 2 is going to be remade into more of this aqueous white, like what we're using now. God, I hope I have enough resin. I'm just thinking about how fat this tile is. Will this cover an entire strip? I think I need one more. Oh yeah, we're gonna do the gold. That's right, I wanna do a real honest to goodness gold on gold. So this has golden maple and the solar gold in it. But I find that if I add a little color to my golds, it makes them look a little bit more. Now the ultrafine part of this gold will float on the top. The golden maple is a larger flake, so it won't. Add violet or sparkle. Interference snow would make it would dominate it, but we could do this. I could add some really pretty sparkle blue, because blue and black seems to lend itself to it. I'm just going to put some sparkle blue in the black. Yowza. And let's see if I can find some diamond. Yeah, here's blue diamond. That'll make it interesting. That's going to make my black more interesting than just black. Thank you for the suggestion, Mr. John. And again, I'm just going to warm up my gold a little bit. Just a little bit. Uh-oh, I see a cat's tail behind me. We may actually get a visit from Miss Jasmine. I'm going to add a drop of the Aztec. Hi, Sally. Welcome, welcome. 1 drop of Aztec yellow. That's all I'm going to put in there. Last time I put too much in my gold, and it turned a funky color. I'm just trying to warm up my gold. Okay. I'm getting nervous about doing her technique, Judy. This is my first time actually trying her technique on camera. Now, there's other colors that are going to be at the top. So these are the base tones we're going to use. I'm now going to mix the top colors that do the head or the face. It's not really a face, but like the head of the goddess. Yeah, that black's going to be interesting. That's pretty. Oh my goodness. Look at that. That black with the blue sparkle. Okay, John. That actually looks like a color of blue. Is that crazy or what? That's pretty crazy. All right. I'm trying to figure out. I don't have a lot of space up here, kids. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm trying to create some space here so I can put the batch I just mixed aside and then make room for the colors at the top. So the base is going to be all these warm, juicy colors. I am taking creative license and I am going to do a violet application on the top. Now, it does require black and white. I might need more of this black. I am so worried I'm going to run out of black. Let's make up more just to be safe. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, because she's using those, she's doing those pools in the top at the head. You guys haven't seen it yet, but she does like a, like puddle pour, like black color, black, white color, black, white color, black, white color. God, that's a pretty black. Hey, everybody. How you doing, Opal? Opal's coming in and saying good morning to everybody. Sorry, I'm going to get all the resin out of these cups and in here. See, normally when you come onto a video, everything's mixed and the person doing the video says, I mixed it this way. What's different about our broadcast is I actually mix it for you, but then, of course, it does take longer. I'm still kind of blown away by this black. Hey, Patty, on your way to work and watching, we're doing an homage to an artist, a resin artist by the name of Cathy Lane. She also worked with acrylic, but she's kind of most known for her, for at least to me, for her resin work. All right, so let's mix up some more colors for the top of my goddess's headdress. We're going to go with purples, no surprise. You totally am unloved or you like it? Maria, that's a new face. Hi, Maria Little. Welcome, welcome. You're new to me. I've never met you before. So nice to see you here, coming and joining us. All right, so let's get some epoxy in each one of these cups. We're putting in about an ounce. That's about the average amounts that we're mixing. Keep scraping this little sucker. All right, we got to get more. I did make up quite a bit. A little bit more in this cup. A little bit more in this cup. We're doing an homage to Cathy Lane's goddesses, her warrior women. She did a whole giant series, lots of videos on this subject. And like I said, when she mounted her pieces, I mean, it's just MDF board, but when she put the texture paste around the edges and then inlaid the tile in the center, like I said, I looked at her pieces going, wow, it's tile. And this looks like a fine piece of art that belongs in a a gallery. Marie and I have to miss a lot of work. Oh, yeah. What brand? I am using art resin, honey. Opal asked me what brand of epoxy am I using. I am using art resin. Okay, so this first color is called Royal Violet. It's a brand new bottle, so obviously I haven't used this particular bottle on camera for you. It is a red violet. I think that's about 5 or 6 drops. No surprise, I'm gonna throw a little cyan aqua in here because we know purple and turquoise works well. This is a lighter value of cyan, so it's gonna look really pretty with that. That's about 4 or 5 drops. Yesterday, I really wanted to use this fluorescent purple. This will be in the neon set that I still have to put up for the weekend. The brand new Purely Pigment set, photos and everything's are up there and color descriptions so you could see them, everything that's in the set. And on the email campaign I sent out today, I gave you guys 4 links of every single video I've showed off the new Purely set 2, so people could see me using them with water, using them in acrylic, using them with epoxy. 2, 3. This color is called Oh Snap, 4, 5, 6. But because we have so much red violet, I'm actually going to focus on the blue on the Snapdragon. Instead of putting interference violet in it, we're going to put some interference blue and sparkle blue in the Oh Snap. That's my homage to Snapdragon. Those of you that plays with the primary elements and familiar with Snapdragon, you would know what I'm talking about. So there's a little sparkle blue and a little bit of eye blue. The violet, I'm going to go straight to, let's see, the fluorescent violet, I'm going to go with sparkle violet. And just, I mean, a pinch of interference. I'm learning very much to my dismay that a little bit too much interference in your epoxy and it could take over everything. Now this lilac color, let's see, I got all these jars open. What am I gonna do here? Okay, so with the cyan, I know I'm gonna go blue on blue. It worked really well yesterday, gave us a great combo. I am using more interference in that one because I want that beautiful light blue interference thing going through there. Let's get some of the sparkle violet in with that cyan. And while we've got sparkle violet, we'll add some sparkle violet to the royal violet. And let's see what color this is. Now my hands are all open. Ooh, that looks like interference red. I don't want that. I want some, oh no, that was violet. I think that's violet. As soon as I take all the caps I'm in trouble. Because then I have to put them on my hands to find out what they are, because they all look like white powder in the jar, right? Don't worry, the opal drops, I've already made my mixes for those, so we don't have to go through that again. Adding all the bling is probably the funnest part, but it is time consuming on the live. And I ask you guys, and am grateful for your patience while you watch me do this color mixing. You get an idea of what all this is about. Again, I'm getting my tops on right now. Sparkle violet, sparkle red. Okay, there we go. Now we got all our pigments put away. Let's get these puppies mixed. And then we can start playing with Cathy Lane's goddess technique. I hope I can do her justice. Now, so there is the fluorescent purple. It was stronger yesterday. I think it needs a little bit more color to it. Want a little more pop to it, 2, 3, 4 drops in that. Oh, you know what? I'm completely wrong. That first color was Royal Bright Violet, and I'm just showing you example right there how you can brighten a color with a fluorescent. So this was Royal Violet, and I thought it didn't look bright. And I just put a couple drops of the fluorescent purple in there, and look how much that's popped up in color. Okay, that makes me happy. Here is the Cyan Aqua Interference Blue with a little bit of Sparkle Violet. Why not? As long as your paint base is going to dry clear, someone asked if you can bling up the black. You can. Now here's the thing. These are translucent colors. If you try to use regular old black acrylic paint and it's got all kinds of fillers in it, you're not going to see any kind of mica. In order for the mica to show up, you got to have some light. Now this is the straight fluorescent purple. Yeah, now look how electric that looks. And this is that other violet, Royal Violet. They are a little similar. But we're going to be breaking these up with black and white. And then this is the Snapdragon, but I chose to go with a blue mix for it instead of a violet. So this is mixed in Interference Blue and Sparkle Blue. And that really, really changes this snap color. All right. So I've got those made for her head. Last thing is the interferences for the droplets. I'm not going to mix them later, so I'm going to mix them now. This first one, I believe, is, got to remember what I did. I know I did violet, gold, and blue. And one has interference violet, sparkle violet. This one right here I'm putting, I know has interference gold and sparkle red. We're going to try one little bit of the resi, like basically use the silicone. And if it doesn't work, these are going to make my droplets, which, you know, are not going to come out perfect because it's not like putting a toothpick with one little drop of silicone in it so they all make these perfect little patterns. You'll see what I'm talking about when we get there. But we do know, I think maybe in the back of my brain by watching Cathy Lane do this, that opal drop thing that she was doing on the head of these goddesses stuck with me because, you know, you guys, I'm really addicted to the whole dropping, you know, the drops on top of each other. And maybe that's where I picked this up subliminally and didn't even realize what I was doing because Cathy Lane's, well, again, you got to go check out her channel. So this is the interference blue and sparkle blue. Again, these are for my clear droplets. You'll see in the end. This is interference gold, but look what happens with the sparkle red and the interference gold. You can see that sparkle red playing around with the interference gold. It's such a pretty combination. Love that combo, sparkle red and interference gold. It just adds a little bit of pop. It's not quite mixed yet. But it adds a pop when it starts to spread out. You'll see the little glints of the red. Okay, so let's get all this stuff set aside. I'm going to have to move the camera up. This will be a standing project, sadly, for me. But that's okay. Let's get this puppy up. I'm getting better and better at the standing since I had that knee replacement. So let me get my camera loosened up so we can get up as high as we possibly can. Get this over the top. Okay. All right. So she worked in this shape, right? She worked in this shape. And in the one that I just watched, the video I just saw, God, I gotta get these cups out of my way. Sorry, guys. This stuff feels like it's just like intruding on me. And I'm hoping I have enough white and black mixed up. I really do. All right, so she started with the, uh-oh, somebody just said something. Bad Bunny. Ah, okay, Bad Bunny. Sorry, John just said something. All right, so here we're going to put down this really incredible black. I'm going to like this in the head. I don't think I want much of this black on the bottom. I'm going to like this in the top of her. So she started with black on the base. And even though this really doesn't look like black, it looks more like this incredible green. But I'm not going to argue with what we've got. We've got our colors mixed. I think this is really gorgeous. So the whole point of the tape is just to have it be there for a couple hours and yank it off. It's so the paint goes all the way up to the edges, right? So I just want to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here sideways. I'm just trying to get that black all the way up to the bottom, so it fills up the sides. Okay, so there's plenty of epoxy there. All right. I think the next color, since I have two that look sort of gold, one is regular gold and one is goldish. I'll break it up. I'm going to put the regular gold here. A line of regular gold. God, that's pretty. Now that's that solid golden maple. So it looks contrasting. I'm going to grab our rusted oxide. Oh my God, look at that color. That little bit of hugs and kisses. Wow. That's more than a rusted oxide. That is a gorgeous color. I can't believe I'm doing this, Judy. We watched her do this in her video ages ago. And like I said, I got so inspired rewatching the Athena and the Aphrodite video she did this morning. I had to try this again. I had to try it. I've never actually tried this. I didn't feel risky enough or brave enough like I am right now. Crazy brave. Okay. And so we're going to add a little bit more contrast. Let's do our papaya right here, this gorgeous papaya color. I need to sit down just a second, guys. I think I can do some of this sitting, but I have to have the camera up high enough for you to get a visual. Yeah, I'll stand when it comes time to pull it up and back. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. But at least I can get the colors out of the cup and sit down and give my back a little break. I'm still getting used to being more physical, guys, after my surgery. So bear with me. We'll do it. Okay, so right now we've got our, if you want to call that black, very loosely black. Okay, and I have my gold, my rusted oxide mixed with the hugs and kisses. This is the My Papaya. Now we're going to use the bit of honey. Whew, gosh, that's a pretty color. I'm in love with that bit of honey. I almost feel like I want to save some of it for the puddle pour in the top. I guess if I have to make up more, I can. But that is one stunning color. Okay, now what she did is the top half had some white laid down. That's the only purpose of having this turntable, is so I can get to the other side and lay down some of the white. I'm trying to find something clean, even though this isn't straight. It'll probably work to at least scoot the color around because it's still silicone. I want white all the way up to here. Oh, there's a little runaway hair. And it looks like it's one of mine. That's not a jasmine hair. That's Leslie. That's a long Leslie hair. I don't want to ruin this with too much white. But there's this path where the paint is scooted up right along a path here, and then it's pushed down. So I'm going to create a path right here of the white where to go. All right, now here's the trick. This is what she did. Wow, all that black, see how all that black is moving up? Everything is moving up to the other end. I'm going to give it a slight tilt. And if you wonder what I have this tile sitting on, and it's on the head of a bucket. So it won't. All right, so this is what she did. She took a business, old credit card, remember Judy? And she sat and, let's see, found the center, pushed it straight up, and then let it dribble down in the middle. Now, my little head is not quite as pretty as hers. She ended up with more of a round head on the top. So I can see what I can do to get my little round head shaped. You guys can't see me do that. Here, let me do it this way. And then take that paint, let it drip right back down. She intentionally had a section where the paint traveled down and it created this fine line that came down in the middle. Let's see, wow, I'm loving that. Look at that, what happened there. Well, that's amazing. The only thing is our black is a little bit messed up. Then she added a little bit more color to the sides. Now, we've run out of color. What can I put in there? I guess I could put one more little stream of red oxide, but I'd have to mix this really quick. I didn't plan on doing this. Come on, give me a drop of red oxide. My little dropper thingy is not behaving. It does not want to help me make red oxide. Well, you know what I'm going to do? No, the black would be too much. I'm trying to think what color should I put in there. I've got the papaya. I've got the rusted oxide. It really feels like it needs more rusted oxide. I really think it does. I could just break the mold and use some of the Love Struck. So I'll mix it real quick. Just anything that's going to give us a little more color right there. It's a red. I'll put the sparkle red in it. I know you can't see me mix this, but because the camera's already set up for you guys to see the long view. But I just think we need something to break up that color, and more gold there is not going to help, right? All right, so I've mixed up a little bit more red, but this is the pure Love Struck. And some of that sparkle red. Again, you'll see what I mean as far as breaking up the color. All right. We are getting an effect that she had below. Okay, and then here was just another bit of color that came up to each one of the edges, right? That's how her piece worked. Other than needs to be smoother along the sides. All right. Doesn't look like a goddess yet, does it? Not yet. So this is more of like the body of the goddess, the shape of the body of the goddess coming down, okay? And then she created a head out of the top. Now I'm looking for the perfect little spoons, because she actually used spoons. Now here's where I could get into trouble, because this isn't actually black. And she used black on this. I'm going to lay this sideways so you can see this. It does remind me of an abstract owl. You're right. Okay. So, little spoonful of, we're going to do tiny puddle pours here. It needs to be a perfect round for the head. Then we go with the white. Then she put in a drop of white. Then she added color. Now I'm going hog wild with the color. I realize my goddess's head is not going to be all earth tones. Her piece was almost all earth tones. And I can't help myself. I have to have a little color in my piece. And then we're going to add a little bit of this. I saved some of the bit of honey. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look at that. And then there was supposedly, this is really not black, but this is taking the place of the black. And then a little bit of the white. Ooh, don't get off center here. Make our perfect little circles. Then I'm going to use some of this cyan. And what color was this? Oh, this is the Snapdragon mixed with the blue. Look how pretty that turned out. But again, I didn't have black or gold in between there. That would have looked better with a little gold in between them to add some contrast. Okay, so this is the part that got really super interesting. Her head was this like droplets of stuff, right? And then, then what she took was silicone and started taking them, put little silicone drops on the outside. My proposal is, instead of the silicone, and I don't have as much color over here as on that side, I feel like I need to add a little tiny bit more gold over here for this to work how hers did. Just add a little bit more gold in here. I know this is something completely unexpected for you guys. Okay, so just to see what silicone does, I've got some of my silicone out. Now that's actually what that resi, whatever that stuff that they sold under the name resi, that was supposed to create cells in resin. It's just a very expensive silicone. So I'm dropping this in here and seeing if it even reacts. Uh-oh, it's already starting to drop. I got 3 drops in there. Oops. I guess we're going with the silicone. See, the effect she's getting with the silicone is the same effect that I'm getting with my opalescent droplets. Other than the silicone is going to spread. Can you see what that silicone's doing? I'm trying to figure the best way for you guys to get an eye full of this, where you can actually see what's happening. Can you see those little droplets as they're forming? They're creating this crazy formation. Now, I'm going to take it an extra step because I can't help myself. You know me. I'm going to put a drop of the gold with the sparkle red in between each one of these. I'm getting quiet. I know I'm getting quiet, guys. It's just that I'm focusing. And I'm standing. And I don't want to dribble. It's already starting to give me dribble marks, and I don't want dribble marks. That's the part with is your back strong enough to hold up and let you stand and do this. Oh, wow. We're getting some interesting effects with the silicone. See, I can't just leave it alone and have it just push out with the silicone. I got to put some kind of color in these. Let's see if I can sit down and finish this. Can you see it? That's the thing. Is my hands are in the way. You see if we do this sideways. Maybe you guys can see me do this sideways. Hey, Sheldon, welcome, welcome. I see Sheldon just entered the room. Watching me do some crazy opal effect droplets. Oops, I didn't mean to get a string of it there. Come on, stop. Get smooth. Okay, so that's the gold. Next will be the blue. So I have an interference blue and a sparkle blue, and I'm going to put them right on top of the existing drop, dead center. Now it's kind of hard to see the effect until this dries, but this is when you start to create an opal effect. The gold inside of the blue, then we're going to put violet inside of the gold. I know I'm being quiet, guys. I'm focused. I do not want to make a big mess. I'm already making a crazy abstract mess. I don't want to make it worse. while her work is incredible and mine is pretty basic, it still feels pretty good to kind of do an homage to her. Cathy Lane's very, 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 very talented. When she did that piece on the barrier reef, she, she lives in Australia, and so she's concerned about the environment, and did this beautiful mixed media piece. Started by laying texture on the canvas that might emulate some underground rocks, and then she sanded it, right? And then she hand painted fishes in there. She did some acrylic pouring for the fish bodies. Again, you get a chance to look up Cathy Lane. It took her 2 months, 2 months to finish that piece on the barrier reef. It was incredible. But she really got her claim to fame on doing these crazy goddess pieces. But she didn't do this drop effect. This is kind of my little twist on it. I accidentally did this on a test piece. It's on my channel, actually, if you go and you look. It's green. It looks like the Hulk's teeth. But doing this droplet effect on top of black and green, it was breathtaking. The colors just came out so extraordinary. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. I still think the center needs something done to it. We're losing all those droplets we put in the middle. The only thing I think I can remember that she did is she kind of took, and it's too late for me to do it now because I've got my droplets going here, but I think she pulled a little bit of color from the head down into the body to make it look complete. Cathy Lane, Chtylane, if you want to go look up her YouTube channel. I think we almost have the violet all the way around. Now when this dries, I'm telling you, these actually look like opal that I would cut and polish and make a ring out of. It's so stinking pretty. Have yet to find the perfect technique for this. Now these sides look a little bit kind of unfinished. Okay, so there we have it with the opal droplets. I don't think I should go any further. I do have a little bit of this gold left, actual gold. And I kind of want to see what happens if I put some of the plaid gold in it. If I can get the darn bottle open. Maybe not. It's not liking my hands. I guess we're not going to do that. So to kind of, this is not bad. I like my little top. It's kind of interesting. We need some clear resin in here, and this needs to look finished. So I guess I'm going to pour just a tiny bit more gold. I don't really want to make this whole thing gold. I just kind of want to edge it. Maybe put a tiny bit of gold in here in between these two little veins. I don't know. Maybe I'm overdoing it with the gold since I've already committed to this. We need a little bit of clear up here. I'm out. Ooh, wow. Can you see that? I don't know if I can. I can't lift it up to show you. I'm just filling in all the little cracks that has no resin. I do not want to mess with this little, I don't know about this and this together. It's kind of interesting to do this, but I do like the idea of doing some kind of puddle pour in the middle, and it's surrounding it with the opal drops. I can't read it. Everybody's saying stuff, and I can't read a darn word you guys are saying because I'm standing and manipulating resin. It does look a little bit lopsided, like it's not sitting straight. There's a little bit of gold to edge that red that I put on. Okay, let's heat this thing. Again, it looks like it's going the other direction, even though I know my table should be. Let's make sure we turn it the other way. So in case it is slanting. Well, there's my crazy little goddess. After vintage days. Thank you, Michelle. She was actually on the phone with me. There's a little heat. So I think that's as far as I'm going to be able to get on this piece. And sadly, I don't have a place to put it out of the way. I'm going to try to scooch it as far back as I can. And maybe we can do a couple more tile tests with the paint we got left over, so we're not wasting any. Do some tiles. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I realize it's different. It's not what everybody expected to come on and see today. But I'm okay with that. But I do have some extra resin I want to use up here. So let me get my little swipey. Where are they? There's this one. I need to find my actual other swipey tool. I could use this if I have to, but it's really big. Okay, so let's just start dumping and using what we got left. I think this color here has got piqued everybody's interest, this black. Now this is our bone black mixed in with that interference blue and the sparkle blue. And this does not look like a black. So quite frankly, this to me makes the prettiest dark blue ever. Thank you, John, for pushing me to do this, because this is a great, great discovery, right? I like that. Now, I don't have a white that's guaranteed to get it to foam up. Didn't make any of it up, but I will use some of the white that we've got made here and see if it allows me to swipe. This gold's really pretty next to that black, and which is not really black. And then let's grab some of this fluorescent purple. Whew, that's going to be a pretty combination. Oh, I like that color combo. And again, we know the white's not going to do what it was doing before. It's not going to swipe like we were expecting it to. I need to get some paper up here so I don't ruin my glass turner. And now I'm sitting here worried where I'm going to put these tiles. Here, let me make some room to the right of me. After I make them, I got to have a place to put a home for them. Okay. And then the white, again, I don't think this white's going to foam up or do anything for us, but ooh, wow, we're getting some interesting patterns with that gold. What did that do? Why are we getting a cool reaction like that? Wow. Okay, so here's some of our regular aqueous white. It's not white enough. It needs more white. My humble opinion. Let's get some heat on this. Now, tile transfers heat. So you don't need to heat it for very long. Let's see what happens when I take my transparent white and put it over the top of everything. I don't know if it's going to lace or not. It doesn't look like it will. But I'm getting some interesting, oh, I know what happened. There's silicone in the gold. Look at that, guys. Can you see that? Okay, hang on a minute. I got to take the camera down so I can pull it up and show you. This is nuts. Look at that lacing. The gold is creating cells. Well, the gold had silicone accidentally drop in it. Here, put this down. Look at that. Now you can see up close. Can you see those patterns? The cells that it's creating? Ooh, I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, well, I don't really need, that's kind of yucky looking. I don't need that there. I need to make a little bit more of that gold, or I need to put some of that silicone maybe in one of the other colors. That's kind of nuts. Either that or I can see, I'll show you right now. You put the silicone right on the top, it starts to spread it there. It's going to create those patterns, right? This is an interesting test. I'm going to leave this just the way it is and we'll do another one. But I'm liking that reaction. This is a great tile test. And I love those colors. That black with that blue and that fluorescent. Oof. Okay, let's get another tile. This time, I'm going to intentionally put the silicone in this color, the blue-green. So you can watch me do this. So it was an accident. It accidentally dripped in, John. So there's a couple drops, right, in the top. And let's pick another color. This is that Snapdragon that was mixed in interference blue. That is one gorgeous color. That does not look like regular old Snapdragon. I'm going to pour the whole entire thing since I got a whole cup of this stuff. Get all this off so we can use it up. Wow. That is just amazing. I am going to put a tiny bit of our wonderful not so black. I mean, this paint's pretty thick. It doesn't need to be that thick. Here is some of the gold that we know has the, I'm trying to find a stick for this thing. This is the gold, a little bit left of that gold that has that silicone in it. And then I know I don't have much contrast here. I have way too much of this cyan blue mixed up. We don't have enough gold to break it up, though. I have a little bit of this left, a bit of honey. That'll help break up some of this color. With all that turquoise, right? Okay, and then this has the silicone in the top. Let's drizzle some of this all over everything since it's an interference. Should be really pretty. I used to make which blue? This blue? Audra, which blue? Cindy, this blue? the turquoise or the Snapdragon that had all the blue in it. A little bit of heat. Again, I know this was not an expected project today, but that's okay. I don't mind doing the unexpected for you guys. Let's see what happens if I, ooh, look at this. I'm rolling all this interference over the top of the colors. Oh, 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 oh yeah, look at that. Can you see the selling happening? The interference is selling over the top. I know, wrong color combination, but I'm seeing something really interesting happening here. Making that interference a selling color. Well, it may not show up that well here, but the interference selling, I can use that intentionally on another project. Like I said, this is just a test tile. So we can test the feasibility of doing stuff. Now take a look at that. I put it way back here. Here, let me get this. God, I got too much epoxy everywhere. This is gonna drive me nuts. I hate getting sticky and messy. So, yeah, there's that. But, wow. Okay, I got to put the top back on the silicone before I dump it over. I have a whole bunch of interference. I have a bunch of stuff I'm going to have to pour out after broadcast, is because we're not going to have time to pour all this out. But I do want you to see the one we did with the gold, because I can see it really starting to create fantastic patterns on the back. See, a lot of people didn't realize when they were spending all that money for the resi, whatever that stuff was called, Resi-Crete is for concrete, Resi Test, I thought was the name of the stuff for epoxy, but it was just a very expensive silicone they were selling at $30 an ounce, guys. Okay, so here it is. Here is the one we did before. Now look at what's happening with that gold and how it's reacting. I need some assistance with my lives to pull stuff off and run it to a drying table. But look at that. That is nuts. I really think this is interesting. Really interesting. So, guys, let me tell you, this has been quite the journey. Let me get the outside gloves on so I got clean hands. And then I can talk to you. This has been, now go watch Cathy Lane's piece. She's a little bit more controlled. You know, I literally was re-watching the video an hour before my time started, and I'm suddenly, it does look like purple sapphire. You're right, that's gonna be the fluorescent purple, and it'll be in the neon collection once I get that up, the Purely Pigment neon collection. But the Cathy Lane is fantastic. She is just fantastic. I really recommend you go watch her. Yeah, you love chaos. Well, if you want to see chaos, come see me. Because I'm going to, like I said, I can make color and I can show you how to mix color. But all these other techniques, I'm going to learn right along with ya. And that's the beauty of the lives, because it's uncensored. Raffle off the chance to come. Oh, someone's going to fly out here and be an assistant with me. Every other paint makers are jealous of me. Hazel, what do you mean by that, sweetheart? They can do YouTube lives like I'm doing YouTube lives. There's nothing stopping anybody from doing this other than most of the chemists sitting in the lab Their job is just to sit and make stuff. They're not the ones actually working with it. I'm in a unique position as a chronic craftaholic that wants to make this. Thank you, Andrea. You're so sweet. Okay, bit of business, the membership drive. You got about 10 more days. Again, I found some people are placing orders now using the affiliate codes like I instructed you guys to do. Because the best way to get the best deal on our products right now is to become a member, or if you've already used up your gift card, buy another one. They range anywhere from 40 to 50% off product after April 30th, somewhere about 24 hours after April 30th, that will wind down. Thank you, John. Yeah, they don't have, but they do have their knowledge in their one little area. I must admit, for some reason, I collect random facts. Like I can tell you when Liquitex had an international pouring medium shortage, April 2017. Why do I remember that stuff? I don't know. I remember those random facts, and I feel like I should be giving you the historical reference of how the fluid art movement, when it reemerged, how it's been growing and which directions it's been growing. So, well, I have to push my stuff too, John. We got to keep our doors open. But John says all they are is pushing products. Oh, okay, so here's the deal with the cards. A gift card can be used forever till the company closes. It's just like if your husband bought you a gift card or your partner bought you a card for the holidays. There's no limit on when you can use a gift card. You use it until you use it, or till the company goes out of business. And so there are people now buying second and third membership cards and stacking their amount. And because I'm still doing this manually, someone bought another $1,000 card, meaning they think they spent $570 and they got $1,000 worth of goodies. They use the same code. I'm not changing your gift code. I'm just adding more to your balance. So that's how we're doing it. And someone this morning did use Tammy Anderson's code. So they heard the message yesterday that our discounts on the website are done. They will be going to founding members or members who qualify whatever tier they get into. How do you use the card? Well, what you do is you log in, and as if you were going to put in a discount code, you put in your own personal card. Now you need to be logged in your account because the card is assigned to your email address and your account. No one else can use it, right? So it's just log into your account, put something in your cart, put in your code. Who asked it? Opal D500, right? And maybe you got $179 in your cart. It'll charge you freight. You're still going to pay the $10 freight, but it'll deduct $79 off, $179 off. Then you text me. You'll get instructions, by the way. Everybody gets instructions when they get the card. You text me. And yeah, Resi Bless, that was the name of the stuff, Sandy. It was called Resi Bless. That was the stuff that was silicone. Anyway, you message me, email me that you got, you placed an order, and just simply give me the order number, and the instructions will tell you to do this, and I will fix your balance. Now, we are doing a test on the backup website this weekend on the membership software that we've purchased, testing it to make sure it's going to work and give you guys all the advantages that we need it to. I may be reaching out to a couple of you members to be guinea pigs to help me test this. But yeah, but that's okay, sweetheart. Andrea, we love you. There will be no card in the mail. You will immediately get an email from me, probably 48 hours after you buy the card. You get a welcome letter, how to use it. No, you're not. I didn't have cards printed out, but that's a great question, Hazel. Hazel asked if they get a card in the mail. You're about the 5th person to ask that. So no, by the time you got the card, chances are you'd already use it up. There's people that have already used up their cards, and they're, like I said, buying second and third ones, or Kathleen Mefford's mom bought her one, or yeah, just buy another card and message me or let me know. Of course, on Sunday morning, I go through every order searching for gift cards I might have missed or extra ones somebody have done, but you're welcome to send me an email and say, I've added something to my balance. Believe me, we'll take care of it. We really appreciate it. And yeah, I can't wait. We're testing the sampling program too. It's not, you didn't see one yet then? What did you mean? You didn't see one yet, sweetheart. Hazel asked, do we get a card? No, you don't get a card in the mail. Now, on the website, if you go to Art of Color Club, there's the very first link on the top is Art of Color Club, and then there's a slash ColorPlay deals. Right now, the Color Club is in the ColorPlay deals page. Eventually, they'll be separated out, so there'll be like a membership page, ColorPlay deals. That's where I'm supposed to put things that we have a lot of. Like, I was planning on showing you how to use a tint today, but I got so excited about doing this warrior woman goddess piece, right? Yeah, I actually sent an email out this morning. So you guys can call me. I'm happy to help you. The pearl base now, somebody said they're trying to tint the pearl base. All you got to do is add a drop of your color to the pearl base. So if the pearl base isn't working, it's something with your mix. It's got nothing to do with the colors. So, because 1 or 2 drops of color is not going to change your pearl base chemistry. And I do realize that's important. I heard that there's some people, and I'm so excited to hear this, they're trying to figure out how to colorize their pearl base. I think that's brilliant, right? I can't wait. Actually, I've never done the pearl pour yet myself. I can't wait to try. And that would probably be one of the first things I would want to jump in and try is see if I could color it. I am busy, but hopefully the more and more I give the power to my crew that's been with me 20 years. What did you did that in it. Okay. You did that and it did what? The feed's not showing what you said. Did you use purely pigments is the question. Because they're archival. However, the dancing fuchsia got its name because it wants to dance with everything else. So do not use the dancing fuchsia in that pearl pour. It is going to want to dance with everything around it. It is not the same color at all as the archival colors, but it is such a stunning hot fuchsia. Everybody and their mother's in love with rhodamine. So, you know, I had no choice but to put it in the line. And if you notice, it even has mica in it. It wasn't as a regular purely pigment, which is just the pure thick color. So, yeah, well, Andrea, I can't discuss it here with you without knowing exactly what you're talking about. So I guess we can talk on the phone. Not today, at least not for a little while. I need a break and I need to get some food. I've been kind of busy all morning, but again, a couple drops of color won't change your pearl base. So it has something to do with your pearl base, not the color that you're adding. So, yeah, well, the dancing fuchsia, strong, 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 strong. It wants to mix with everything. Okay, guys, well, I hope you have a wonderful day. We've lost some people. I wanted to say goodbye to everybody, but they're already going off while Andrea and I are trying to figure out this pearl pour. What did you want to do, Connie? I can't see what you're saying, Connie. For some reason, the live chat is stopped for me. So, Connie, I cannot see what you asked. And I may be calling you as soon as I hang up, Connie, trying to figure out what you need. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you Tuesday at 11 a.m., guys. Happy weekend. Hugs and kisses. Bye.